like being blatantly manipulated. I don't like being manipulated by any stretch of the imagination, but when the manipulation is so apparent, it's not really manipulation, it's just lying. You're not even trying to be clever. Oh, here we have an article from NBC News. Migrant mom details daughter's death after ICE detention in emotional testimony. A migrant woman who says her 19-month-old daughter died following neglect and mistreatment at a detention facility testified at a congressional hearing. This is the mom. You gotta say, does she get the 35%? I mean, her hair look good, and the nails are definitely popping, interestingly enough. Let's pull this on up on her. I'm gonna have to. That's a no. That's a no on a 35%. I think she gets 20% on the strength of, like I said, those nails popping, the hair look good, and the top part of her face is really pretty, but the bottom half just looks rough, man. It looks rough. Yasmin Juarez, mother of 19-month-old Marie, who died after detention by ICE, testifies before a House subcommittee in Washington on July 10th by Daniela Silva. Now, there's a very interesting part to the story that we're going to get to, so just bear with me as we read through this. A migrant woman whose 19-month-old daughter died weeks after being released from a U.S. detention facility gave emotional testimony at a congressional hearing Wednesday, saying her daughter died because of neglect and mistreatment. Keep that in mind, guys. Yasmin Juarez, who left Guatemala with her daughter Marie to seek asylum in the United States. Okay, wait. Let's just stop, first and foremost. The rules in asylum, right? The international rules when it comes to asylum is that you're supposed to seek asylum in in the closest country, the closest safe country. The closest safe country to Guatemala is Mexico, not the United States. So yeah, you're not. I'm not throughout the course of this article, I'm not going to grant you the whole asylum thing, because no, asylum from people from Guatemala is Mexico. Make no mistake. Spoke about her daughter's death during a hearing before the House Oversight and Government Reform Subcommittee on Civil Rights and Civil Liberties on Wednesday afternoon. Marie died of a viral lung infection in May of last year, her mother said, a few weeks after being released from the custody of ICE. Neglect and mistreatment. She died weeks later. Wait, what? Like, hold on. She didn't die in an ICE facility. No. You had your daughter when she passed away. What's going on here? We came to America where we hope to build a better, safer life for my daughter, Marie, Juarez said in Spanish, sitting next to a photo of herself and her daughter. Unfortunately, I watched my baby girl die slowly and painfully. A few months before her second birthday, she ceased to exist. Yeah, but you had her. You had her. ICE didn't have her. She was in your custody when she passed. Don't give me. You ain't gonna get me with no crocodile tears. Juarez said it hurt her to be reliving the experience of her daughter's death. But I am here because the world should know what is happening to so many children inside of ICE detention. It happened with you. It happened with you. This did not happen. She did not die inside of ICE detention facility. This is what I was talking about earlier with the manipulation and it just being flat out lies, because manipulation is slick and really tries to cover its tracks. This is not trying to cover its tracks. This is in here lying to us and expecting us to be dumb and fall for it. My beautiful girl is gone now, but I hope her story will spur the United States government to act so that children do not die because of neglect and mistreatment, she said. No, she died because of your neglect, your mistreatment, and you bringing her to the United States. If you really want to sit there and put it on us, though you got free healthcare while she was detained by ICE, you want to sit here, put it on our country when you are the one that sat here and drug her from Guatemala to the United States, skipping the whole Mexico thing? Nah, family, not even. And I feel bad for the kid. I really do feel bad for Marie. But guess what? You're not going to sit here and keep playing us like this. And this is exactly what the blue team's been doing for generations now. Oh my goodness, in the arms of an angel. Like they sit there, hit us with these sob songs. And then, oh my goodness, you're just this cruel, mean person if you don't fall for their lies and their BS. Nah, mama. Juarez has filed a wrongful death claim against the government seeking 60 McKicker out. Get going. Leave. Like, I couldn't even be more serious about it. You come here, you get free health care, your daughter ends up sick and passing in your custody, not in ISIS custody, in your custody, yet you want to sit here and file a wrongful death claim for 60 M's? Nah, family. Whoo-wee. The hearing Wednesday comes amid heightened criticism of the Trump administration following government and media reports of squalid conditions for migrants in U.S. custody, with the influx of asylum-seeking families at the border. Several children have died this year in U.S. custody or shortly after being released, and you know what? Those deaths are on their parents for putting them through that. And on the party for sitting here and saying, oh, if you bring a child with you, we're not going to kick you out. Everybody sits there, like, I don't want to sit there and say everybody, but we have a large contingency in this country that tries to act as if these problems started with the Trump administration. No, they've been ongoing since Bush, Obama, Clinton. No. These situations have been ongoing since the 60s. But to sit here and now put it all at Trump's feet because there's a lot of useful idiots out there that just hear Trump's name and completely lose their mind. Nah, family, not over here. That's not what we do. What we do is we take a look at things from a pragmatic and logical standpoint. And from a logical standpoint and from a pragmatic standpoint, you got your daughter killed. And now you're trying to get 60 mil. Get the fuck out of my face. The poor treatment of migrant children also includes allegations of sexual assault and retaliation for protest, according to dozens of accounts by children held in Arizona collected by government case managers and obtained by NBC News. And you know how you can avoid all that? Not come here illegally. Banks, plain and simple. If you want to talk about allegations of sexual assault, how about those coyotes and the fact that I think it's like over 70% of women, not just young women, any women, the women that make that trek from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras and all these other countries to come to the United States, yeah, they end up getting sexually assaulted and raped. But this is on us when you decided to make these trips. No, family. See, one of the things that I really hope we get back to in America is personal accountability and responsibility. It falls on you that your daughter was in ICE custody in the first place, but then it doubly falls on you because you got her back and she passed on in your custody. Hey, yeah, with the kid looking dead at me. No, little mama. Sorry, little mama. You shouldn't be dead. It's your mother's fault, not yours, and definitely not the United States. You don't think you want to sit here getting sympathy from me. You want sympathy from me? Look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. Major Pain was such a good movie. President Donald Trump has pushed back against reports of poor conditions for children. And Kevin McAllen, acting Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees CBP, has said the reports are unsubstantiated. The administration has also blamed overcrowded conditions on the Democrats. After the hearing, which was titled Kids in Cages, Inhumane Treatment at the Border, Rep. Jamie Raskin from Maryland described allegations of dangerous overcrowding, widespread sickness, pervasive medical inattention, sexual assaults, and the systemic abuse of migrants. Then they can take their asses home. I don't think there's a single person in any of those detention facilities that'd be like, you know what? I just want to go back to Mexico. That's not going. Well, there you go. Go on ahead, buddy. Not a single one. Not a single one. We hope to shine a bright light on this. Hold on. We hope to shine a bright light this afternoon on these dark developments, he said. During her testimony, Juarez described being held in a CBP custody for 3 to 4 days, where it was very cold and they were kept in a cage and forced to sleep on a concrete floor. No one forced you. You walked your happy ass here in this country. That's me. Okay, here's a great analogy. I break into your car and then I start complaining because your air conditioner is broke. That don't change the fact that I broke into your car, family. Come on. When transferred to an ICE detention facility in Dilley, Texas, a nurse determined Marie was healthy, she said. Juarez said she noticed there were many sick children at the detention center and that there was no effort made to tend to the children or to separate the sick children from the healthy ones. Well, yeah, that effort was supposed to be from their parents not bringing them on this trip. Juarez said another mom tried to take her sick son to the clinic at the center but kept getting sent back without receiving care. Juarez said after several days in ICE detention, Marie became sick. She described taking Marie to visit the clinic at the facility several times, waiting hours to be helped. The first time she took Marie to the clinic, she was told the child had a respiratory infection and was given Tylenol and honey for her cough. By the next day, she said Marie was worse and running a fever of more than 104 degrees and began having diarrhea and vomiting. Juarez said this time she was told the child had an ear infection and that they gave her antibiotics to treat it. I begged them to conduct a more thorough exam, but they sent us back to our room, she said. Well, be happy they didn't send you back to your country, right? And why is she always wearing makeup? Like, if you're supposed to be some kind of migrant, why are your pictures clearly Photoshopped? Not Photoshop, but like, touched up. Or is that just the makeup? I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, you look like you suffer so much. Juarez said after she tried to go back to the clinic several times, I'd wait in line early with dozens of mothers and sick children, she said. Twice she was turned away, she said. Marie has lost 8% of her weight in 10 days and still vomiting constantly, she said. During another visit to the clinic, she was able to see a doctor who told Juarez to give Marie Pedialyte and Vicks Vapor Rub, she said. The baby continued to get sicker, and eventually they were told they would be released to go stay with relatives. I'm not saying she said again. Juarez said on the day of their release, Marie was never seen by a doctor, though she later learned her medical records from Dilley said she had no medical restrictions and was authorized to make the trip to New Jersey, where Juarez's mother lives. Yay, they're here. Golly. And as soon as you got to Jersey, you should have took her into a hospital. She said she and her mother took Marie to a pediatrician as soon as they could, and a few hours later, the little girl was taken to an emergency room. The little girl was transferred to an intensive care unit with a viral lung infection, she said. It was terrible pain to see my daughter in that situation, she said. Oh my God, I'm tired of saying that word. Her voice wavering. As a mother, I wish I could have taken her place. And as an American citizen, I wish you would have stayed home. Plain and simple. Or linked with your mother to get here legally in some way, if it's really that bad. But nah, you put your kid in this position. There is absolutely no reason for any American to feel bad about this. I'm sorry for your loss. I really am. I don't want to be cold about this, but you're trying to play me. After spending several weeks receiving care in 2 hospitals, Marie died on May 10th of last year, Mother's Day in Guatemala. So who cares? It's not America. We do not recognize that Mother's Day. When I walked out of the hospital that day, all I had with me was a piece of paper the doctors had made with the handprint of my daughter, she said through tears. That was the only thing I was left with. The nurses made it the day before as a Mother's Day gift. I don't know why, because it's not Mother's Day here. I'm here today because I don't want any more little angels to suffer like Marie. Well, then tell their parents to keep them home, she said. I don't want any other mothers and fathers to lose their children. Then don't have them until you get to the States, or if you're going to have them there, plan to stay there. Plain and simple. This is disgusting. It really is. Let's go back on up to this man-faced chick. Sweetheart, you failed your child. The United States didn't fail your child. You did. And you live in Jersey. That's, yeah, great. The deal is that you brought your child on a dangerous trek. You had the opportunity to seek asylum in Mexico. No. You wanted to come to the United States. This is the price you paid. I feel bad for your daughter. I really do. But for you and these fake crocodile tears that you're sitting here popping out right now, nah, family, not even at all. And in fact, you can go too. Goodbye. Be out. You ain't fine enough to stay here. You get like 20%. So you ain't that fine in the first place. To whereas it's going to be a great loss for us. Seriously. And you want to sit here and sue for $60 million after you did this to your kid? Nah, I ain't with this at all. But that's about the end of this video. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. If you dislike it, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring, and YouTube's definitely not going to do it. And speak. Let me know what do you think in the comments. Like, I understand anybody who feels bad. Anybody who heart goes out. Because my heart goes out for that little girl. But I can't muster it for the mother who put her child in this position. Because your number one job was to protect your child. and taking them across that track. On that track, I don't know how she got here, because I mean, people driving, flying, like they got caravans and everything else like that. I don't know how you got here, darling. But the deal is that your asylum claim is null and void because, boom, Mexico. Secondly, I'm pretty sure, like, if this country is the terrible thing that you're trying to make it out to be, then why are you even here? Oh wait, because you can sue for $60 million? Man, I hope they don't give you a penny. I really do. No settlement, no nothing else like that. Take that shit to trial, because at the end of the day, you put your daughter's life in danger. You did. No one else. And this falls on no one else except for you. So, I mean, if you feel differently, let me know in the comments. You guys know I will happily go back and forth with you. And until the next one.